We have this interview with him. Just we're all, in this big circle of coolness, but having him on the show was really cool because we got to talk about what he's planning on doing, what they're working on. We also got to go out to Arizona.
Exactly like she said, what they're working on, what they're working towards, what are their goals, what are the struggles, all of those things. So please enjoy this interview that I have been holding on to for way, way too long. And thank you, Brett Coleman, for being so fucking cool.
Oh, yeah, super.
And enjoy.
I see you. Part of you. One of you.
How weird.
It has a little door on it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It has a slide on the camera. It's really weird.
Okay.
I think those are always for people when they're like, watching some dirty shit and they're just trying not to be spied on. Slide the cover.
I always use those. I just don't like pants.
Pants are overrated. We're not wearing pants. I'm just kidding.
Good on my end.
He's all, you guys are crazy.
No, I get it.
So go ahead and introduce yourself. That way our watchers and listeners know who you are and where you're from and what you do.
Sure. I'm Brett Coleman. I am from Arizona, Cave Creek to be exact, just north of Phoenix. I have the Saturday Sesh, the Vibes Alive radio show every week on KWSS. This was a gift for my 40th birthday and I love it.
That is super cool.
Put it on.
Well, I wouldn't really, it'd just be kind of weird. It's there. But yeah, I got the Vibes Alive radio show and do a podcast sometimes. I'm not very consistent with it, but I need to be better. And then I also am fortunate enough to play music with Chris Bown Vibes and was previously with ZC Keeley. And I just figuring out what the hell to do and just trying to have a good time doing it.
In any way or any capacity, you have music in your life.
I always have had music in my life. It's different these days because I'm trying to just go towards it and not ask questions, which is different than just loving it for being what it was. I mean, I'm not making money off of it. I'm not, it's not anything of that nature. If I could, amazing. But I've never wanted to think like, oh, this is going to be a source of income. But at a certain point, and I think I'm getting to that point very, very quickly now where it's like, I don't see any other way. This is how it's got to be. This is where I feel my calling. Like I'm 40 and I feel my calling at 40, so be it. But music is my life. And if I could live in the pursuit of happiness, every day would be built around, I get chills saying it, but yeah, like built around music. And
then that's what you're going to do from now on. That's the option. That's if you get chills and you say it and you know it as surely as you just said it, then you got to fucking do it. And so what's the plan?
That's a great question. I think the plan is just to I do the radio show and the radio show is fun, but like when people talk to me or they know me just from knowing me, they think it's kind of odd that I have a radio show because I'm not like, hey, everybody, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And like when I do the radio show, I'm like, hey, good morning, Arizona. Like that is not me. That's so much, like it is me. It's a persona, but it's a passion persona, I guess. And so that balance of trying to find who that energetic, like a lot of just happy guy, to find the balance of that more 24/7, put that forward would be amazing. And so I'm trying to learn if I do that and I bring myself a little more outward and I put more of myself into the universe with the intention of giving love to get love. I'm not even to get pretty much. I'm not going to give love only hoping to get it back. But I think by kind of having that passion forward with things, it's going to open the door and open opportunities a lot more than just being the introverted self that I've been trying to just build for my family and do those things for the last forever. So
yeah. You said that you found your passion at 40. And I liked that you said that because like, even like myself, I feel like in my 40s is where I finally found like what I'm passionate about, what I love. And I really want to do all the things so that I can be in that all the time. Like what, you go to work because you're not making money off this. So you have to go to work
Yeah.
and be around all that bullshit. And
I
then
sit in this room at least 10 hours a day because
so
I
do
work
you,
remotely now. So
oh, okay. So you don't have to go deal with it all.
it's good and bad. I tell you what, I mean, I appreciate my job and I appreciate the opportunity that I have and all those things, but I miss the days of like interaction. I miss the days of being in a studio and getting to interact with people and going and pitching an idea and going to see the client and like having that energy of giving them, being there. You know, like these days, most people, they never even turn on their video. Like I'm falling into that group now because I don't want to be the only guy on there like talking to myself, you know, but it's
You're all
like
looking at yourself.
I miss that. I miss that interaction. It dulls people and it makes it easier to be like this antisocial, social guy, you know, like
Well, and you're out in Cave Creek. Cave Creek is kind of like to itself as well, like a desolate little area, right? I mean, I've been there.
I don't live far north Cave Creek because we moved to Sacramento for like 4 years and then came back here. I can never leave Arizona. We try to leave and we come back. So we're not trying to leave anymore.
Yeah, that happens in California too. It's weird. So have you ever been to Horny Toad, the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite restaurants. I love their barbecue sauce. They used to sell it in the like whole cases of barbecue sauce, and we would get those. And oh, that's one of my favorite places to go when we go to Arizona.
I'll have to go there. I think I've been there once.
So okay, their barbecue sauce is bomb.
Okay. This is not the first time she's talked about this either. So
really?
Believe her.
Well, I'll have to go try it out and get you some. I'll send you some.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
Awesome.
So
yeah, no problem.
She got super fucking happy when she talked about it. And whenever you talk about music, you get super fucking happy. We
For
all
sure.
do have to do this is the job, this is the money. But then we're also teaching our kids just to be workers and not to enjoy life. You reach the point in your life, oh, I provided, I did this fucking shit, and we raised kids, and now I have to show them how to be happy because I want to be happy. And there's no other reason, and there's nothing else. You're surrounded by everything in your image is music, and it's like super happy. All the things completely surrounding you. And even though you're there 10 hours a day and you're working, you still surrounded yourself with your passion and what fuels you. And I honestly believe with every part of my being, that's what you're meant to do when you're here on this earth. If you have a passion, that's what you're meant to do. You have to do that. You get excited and you get pumped and you have to work for it, and it gets hard and it gets difficult, but you have multiple avenues. You have a radio show. Yeah, you're energetic on the radio show, but you're supposed to be. It's a shenanigan. It's extra. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
I've never finished a sentence in normal life like, bro. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
I think
I don't know where that shit comes from, to be honest. No. Dude, do your homework. Yeah, no, it's good. It's, you know, it's weird because I never talk about them because we never talk about like family. It's just like the personality thing, right? But like as they get older and I realize I'm doing shit just to do shit, or I was just like kind of getting there, and it's like the things that are intangible are coming from what I'm getting to show them, you know. And like Micah played with me and Chris 2 weeks ago, which was like, you know, I tried to be, at first I'm sitting there like, no, you can't do it. But the fact that my son's playing saxophone,
I saw that video.
going crazy, is awesome, right? And then I told him he couldn't do it because he didn't practice the whole week before. And I told him he had to practice because he's like, I play the same songs 14 times a day. You hear me do it. You got to learn to do it. And then it was like, I just saw like the balloon kind of, and then I put it in a different perspective of like, look, you're getting to play a fucking show in front of friends and family on a Sunday, and your son wants to play with you, and he can. That was the part where I was kind of like, because I like told him come play with me, and he did it. Like I showed him, and he did it. I was like, wow, all right, like you get to do it, you win. Yeah. And it was like,
you win.
But like I don't think what they're gonna ever remember about me, God forbid I fell off the earth tomorrow, it's not going to be a car commercial. It's not going to be that. It's going to be, you know, that we played music, or that I wrote a song, and or the Journeyman, or I met Chris or ZC Keeley and they saw me on stage like dancing my ass off, being a goofball. Like that's the stuff that, you know, I'm not saying my dad did amazing things and still does, but it's not, that wasn't my motivation as a kid, you know, because he worked really hard. And so I thought I had to do that. And I did do that, and I still do, but it was just like, I don't know. All of a sudden, like, I guess when you're saying passion and purpose, like life becomes really really insignificant when you see the people that fall off so quickly. And it's like, you don't need to do something you think you're supposed to do. You got to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
at least as long as we can. And,
Yeah.
and at this point, like, I'm still pretty fucking like guarded about things. Like, I don't want to just go off and like go do this because it's what I want to go do for the radio show's sake, or like like I'm not blind passion yet. I'm getting there. It's getting scary.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. Very much on the burst of like just getting ready to go. And I think that's why, like, I'm talking to you guys, I got chills saying, like, I just, like, it's fucking time. It's fucking go time.
Yeah. It is go time, right? I agree. I fucking agree.
Well, and you said something that I just was almost yelling about last week. I don't like supposed to.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to do something because I'm supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to. What?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think everybody's doing
Yeah.
that way. That means it's all going to just be boring and bland and everyone's going to be miserable and sad.
Yeah, no, I learned, somebody told me there's no should, right? Like, should doesn't exist. You shouldn't or shouldn't, that doesn't mean anything. You can, you do or you don't, you will or you won't. But there's no should, because if it doesn't work for you or your routine or your feeling or your whatever, like, then there's no reason to do that, even if it works for somebody else. So yeah, no, I agree that the whole supposed to thing. I mean, I'm not upset for following that path for a long time, because I think it helped me stay somewhat driven, because that was like the goal, like just to live a normal life. Like, and I know a lot of people, and I'm learning more and more and more about different backgrounds. And I met with somebody today about this really cool possibility, and I don't know if it really happened, but like learning about their story and learning just the fucking crazy way that people grow up and they live, and like what they have to do and what I didn't have to do, but what my struggles were, which your struggle isn't. But holy shit, like, it just falls out into this crazy place, and it just, it doesn't leave time for any minutia anymore,
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy.
Do you know the moment where you like realized all of this? Is there a moment? A lot of people have like something click where they're like, oh shit, none of that matters.
And then also a lot of people had, like, when COVID happened, it was like there was a lot of people that either went, oh my God, I'm not gonna fucking do this anymore, or they went, I'm just gonna do this forever. And people like us, like, bounced out, and I think a lot of people came at, like, their minds were made up. I'm not gonna live like that anymore. That's when it happened for me. So I don't know.
I learned a lot of humility. I had to be humbled. I think I got let go from my job, which I thought I was above. And so I was working for somebody that had a really good financial backing. I wouldn't say that I was untouchable, but I felt like I was in a really good place. I knew I had a good rapport with everybody. I enjoyed the job, and I felt a lot of pride with it. And so it was like this great state-of-the-art studio and great clients and just a lot of cool stuff. And walked in one day and I was like, oh, and it was like, oh, what? Now what? Like, the craziest part about it was, for me, it wasn't like, what's next? It's like, we got to stop a second, and like, my wife she's amazing. And I do appreciate her. It was an interesting time where I didn't have to run back out. She was off with my sister-in-law helping out in Northern California, and I had nobody here for a month. It was a crazy month. I mean, I went and I, learned I had to deal with me, and I had to have to sit down. And so I guess to answer your, like, that was the start of it, I guess, but it wasn't by any means where I am now. I mean, that was a really, really tough time.
Yeah.
I went up to Sedona. I did a soul journey, or soul adventure. So, I'll endorse them. They did help me see something. So Sedona Soul Adventures, and you basically get linked up with somebody and they say, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And I basically signed up for all these classes, and I went to 10 different meetings, so to speak, with different people, healers. Some of it was impactful. Some of it was like not discrediting them, but I didn't feel it. I didn't have a connection to it.
Yeah.
But I did have one experience with a lady. She's very much an empath, a heart healer. That session changed everything, like everything. And it just brought me to a place of the present, and like, okay, well, you do this here now. You figure out kind of what do we got to deal with? How do you work on it? Whereas before I had no idea. I was just too busy treading. And so, it didn't solve anything. But when they came back, it was kind of like I was in a place of, I don't know what is next, but like, I don't want to have to settle for it, and we'll figure it out. And of course I did settle for a job, and I need to take care of my family, and that's number one. So I did get a job. It didn't turn out to be all that I hoped for. I still have friends there, and I would like to, like whatever. We're still cool, so to speak, but just the job model of what I do is just so different now. So it's like what's happening is I'm seeing the passion project, so the radio show and the music take over everything else, because I do love my job, and I still like advertising.
You are now in advertising. Now you apply advertising to advertising yourself,
which is so weird that I find it difficult to do it to like for myself. I have,
Me
but
too.
I'm getting better at it. Why can you come up with a campaign for so and so or write a script, but when it comes time for you, you're like whatever. And you know what it is? I try not to have any sort of ego, and you need to have some to do. You have to.
I have this problem as well. I can give advice all day. I don't apply it to myself. So what I got myself a Melissa. So now I can go, oh, you should do all of this. But we're a team, so then it works out.
And the really cool thing is I got a Jessie, so I was like, I cannot do that. So, hey, that's your job.
I struggled with that a lot, where I was doing massive jobs for people for absolutely free, just to be helpful and to share, because it was part of my passion and it made me happy, and it made thousands of other people happy. So I continued to do it. And then one day I was like, oh, we could do that. I don't have to do it for other people. I can just do it in my own name. And that's one of the hard parts, is doing it in your own name. So you have a radio show, you play music with Chris Bowen. I mean, you got to give your kid a core memory where he got to perform with his dad. Like, that's freaking magical. You have all of these wonderful things. You have the support system. And now you had that moment where it changed and it clicked, and you get to tie it all together and do music. So this is something I wanted to say. A friend told me before, money is just money. Everyone gets their chance to use it, to spend it, to have it. And so you did your duty, you did your job, you did the providing. Now it's your turn to use money for the music. You never used to charge for it. You never used to earn off of it. Now it's your turn to do that. Everyone gets their turn. Now it gets to be your turn. Passing the torch.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, making the music it's been awesome. I love it. And Chris Bowen and Chris Bown Vibes has been nothing but an amazing experience, and the connection and the collaboration and all of it. I mean, it's really his music, for the majority, and it's got a different sound having me involved in it, but it's also just like been really cool. He's also new to performing, and this is a very, very beginnings of something, and we have a very strong mutual respect for each other, so it works. That we can do it. And
then you have a radio show, literally, which is
where you
music,
can promote it.
And then you have a podcast where you talk to people in the music industry and you share it. You have multiple layers upon layers upon layers of music ingrained in your soul and in your passion, and how you can utilize it. So it's going to be amazing to watch it and see.
So what do you guys have coming up, you and Chris Bown Vibes?
Right now the plan is to record, trying to just focus on recording, and for me that's a little bit more freedom to do some podcasts and stuff. So I know a few bands are coming in town, so I'm going to meet up with them and get some more podcasts done, which would be great. I'm also going to record with Chris, but it's kind of like focusing on recording. And then April we've got 3 shows, I think. So we're the idea with the shows and everything is to not like overdo it. We want to play a lot, but at the same time don't need to overplay our welcome, so to speak. Like it's good in however it works. So I just made that up, by the way. Overplay.
Well, that was really good. We got it on record.
I like that. So. Sweet.
I mean, that's like the idea of go with the flow is exactly how you're doing it, right?
He's very discerning with how we do things, and I totally respect that. And so for now, it's just we're jamming, and I keep trying to pick up a different instrument to try to add to it, which is cool until I get humbled by trying to play with some real musicians, and then they put me in my place, and that's fine. Then I'm just a radio guy again.
It has to be a beginning to everything. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
you know, like you said, this is the beginning of what you guys are doing. You guys are doing this together, and you guys have a really cool thing going on too. So you have all the avenues of support, like she said, and you have all the the social places that you need to be for people to get to know you. And all this time, people have been getting to know you. They see you on the internet, and they're there to support you too. We get stronger each time we find another person that is on this same journey and vibe. Yeah,
Absolutely.
We were able to actually get them at our friend Allison's birthday party out there in Arizona. Oh.
Yeah, we had private messages, workings, outings, whatever plans.
Birthday party.
Yes. They were throwing a secret. What is it called?
A surprise.
Oh, a surprise party. A secret party.
A secret party.
They were doing a secret party. A surprise party for Allison. And it also was when Hyrie, Vonalia, and K-Bong were playing in Arizona.
Yeah.
Which we all had tickets to. And so it worked out where Chris Bown Vibes with Brett Coleman was going to be playing a private birthday party, surprise party, secret party.
Secret surprise party.
For Allison at Jennifer Peterson's house.
Yeah, and it was so cool and so awesome. Jennifer and her daughter, they made birthday cakes for Allison. And then it was also Xander's birthday too.
It was Melissa's birthday is in March. Allison's birthday is in March. My son's birthday is also that same little group.
Yeah.
And so I decided this, I'm healthy enough and I'm at a good enough spot and I have the support. I wanted to take my kids out. So I had my first chance to take my kids on like a mini road trip by myself, and it was awesome to be able to do that. And so Jen offered us a place to stay. They made a cake for my boy, and it was just like a double super awesome birthday party. My freaking Lottie felt like everything was so she just partied the most.
Yeah, no, she had a wonderful time.
And so we were all in Arizona, and we had our interview with Brett Coleman, and then he and Chris Bowen came and they played, and it was wonderful. And thank you guys so much. And we have a bunch of songs and footage.
Yeah.
And Burke, who is a sponsor, was there recording and taking photos, and it was such a fun little intimate concert.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Thank you so much. Much love. This one's called Send Me Your Story. Sing me your soul. Sing me your story. Sing it from the depths of your eternal soul. Sing me your glory. All these human lives we meet, sing your truth out in the streets. Collectively as one we meet, building up this world complete. Knowledge and our eyes to seek, the beauty lies within us deep. Bring it up and let it out, maybe even shout now. Sing me your song. Sing me your soul. Sing me your story. Sing it from the depths of your eternal soul. Sing me your glory. Every single one of us seeking someone we can trust, sharing who and what I am, hoping that you'll understand. When we come together, things only get better. The magic that we bring, united as we sing now. Sing your song. song. Sing me your soul, sing me your story, sing it from the depths of your eternal soul, sing me your glory, sing me your soul, sing me your story. Sing it from the depths of your eternal soul. Sing me your glory. Sing me your story. 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 Sing me your glory. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. That was fun.